king of this delegation group, Stel. Glad to have you on as always, my friend. Devastating today, wasn't it? I mean, I don't know. Why are you smiling? Why are you smirking? Because you're one step closer to your goal. But
no, it's because. Hold on a minute. Before you mud me. No, the reason I'm smirking is because I live in Cyprus, and the beauty of living in Cyprus is after a match. In fact, I'll try and show you. I get to have a nice Cypriot kebab. There you go.
Ah, right. No, okay, I see. So you've been enjoying that.
Save me some.
Sorry to interrupt that, man.
Save me some.
Apologies. Hopefully it's not cold by the end of your call.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
For you, Stel, that last minute goal, is that the killer blow for you in terms of any hope of us staying up?
No, the killer blow was losing 3-0 to Nottingham Forest at home. That was the killer blow for me. I said after the Forest game, West Ham play Wolves. If they beat Wolves, we're not going to beat Sunderland. We're going to drop into the bottom three, and we're not getting out of it. And I don't think we're going to get out of it, Sim. We're just not going to get out of it. You know,
yeah, but that goal would have put us out at least temporarily. It would have put us out of the relegation zone.
Yeah, coulda, shoulda, woulda, maybe, if, but we're not out of it. That's the reality. And that's all that the Premier League's going to look at the end of the season, that we're not out of it. So the problem I've got with this is that today was probably the worst game in the last 10. Today was probably the worst game of the lot. And I'll tell you why. Because that's the best we've shown in terms of actual fight and actually giving it a go that I've seen from Tottenham in about 3 months, honestly. Mm-hmm. And to not win it when you've actually given it a right go is gut-wrenching. You can understand losing games when you play crap. You can understand losing games when you don't fight. You can understand losing games when there's just no anything. You come out of the game thinking we're awful, we're the worst team in the league. But when you actually give it a go, and we fought today, I don't particularly think Tottenham were good today. I don't think we were wow. We had good moments. We had some very special moments as well. Brighton gave a really good account of themselves. I thought Brighton as well. It was a very even game. But nonetheless, it was a game where you're watching it, you're thinking, I can support this team. I can actually support this football team if this is the bare minimum they show me. So to not win it when you've actually done that, I just don't see how we get out of relegation, Sim, because that's the game you've got to win. That's the one you've got to win because you're actually doing well, you know. And to not win it, that's how teams get relegated. It's one thing getting relegated, playing absolutely crap, awful tactics, awful football, no heart, just no fight, nothing. But when you actually show fight, which we did today, when you actually get physical and at least try to play a bit of football, and you still lose, you still don't win, it's just, where's the win going to come from?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree, but as you say, would you not say there are improvements at least you saw today from what we've seen in recent weeks?
Yeah, talk about the actual lineup in terms of the midfield. Was you impressed by that? Did you think Zerbi got it right in terms of selection, or was there one or two players that you thought should have been included, or a couple of players are out of position, some players should have been dropped?
Well, I could do the I see positives today, and we green shoots, and there's things that we can build on. But how many times have we been here? How many times have we said that? We said it when we came back 2-0 down against Man City to get 2-2. We said, we're turning a corner. We said it when we got a 1-1 draw at Anfield. Finally, Tudor, he's turning the corner. We said it after we beat Atletico Madrid 3-2. We're on to something. We've been here before 1,000 times with this club. We actually look like we're going to do something, and it always ends up in heartbreak. So I can't take positives away from it until I see what happens against Wolves. If we play like that against Wolves, and we get another draw or a win, then you can say, okay, there's some positives to take from this because that's 2 games in a row where we've actually looked capable and we've got points from both games. But to say after 1 game, I'm not doing it. We've been here before 1,000 times with Tottenham where we get excited and then they let us down the next couple of games. So it's only positive when we win, because in a relegation fight, who cares about the football? Who cares about the style? Who cares about who scores? Who cares about who's in goal? If we win, no one cares because we've got the points. So if we're not winning, there's no positives for me, because relegation, you need wins. That's the only way we're going to get out this bottom 3. Team selection, I don't think he had much of a choice with the back 4. I think that picks itself. Kinski picks himself. I thought Kinski actually had a half-decent game, to be fair to him. I thought he actually had a half-decent game. Midfield, I was disappointed that Paulinho didn't start again. I don't like the fact that Paulinho is being dropped now, 2 games in a row. I'm sorry, but the same argument I had for Xavi Simons is the same argument I had for Paulinho. Paulinho is the best number 6 in this football club. End of. He's better than Basuma. He's better than Bentancur. He's better than Gray. And he's better than...
What do you think of Basuma and Bentancur today, though? Don't think they played
He had a good game. He had a good game. Bentancur had a good game. But for me, he's not an out-and-out 6. He's not a destroyer, an enforcer. Bentancur's more tidy on the ball, a bit more technique. Keeps the game flowing when he's on it. Paulinho isn't that type of player. They're 2 different players. But Paulinho as an out-and-out 6, you know, for me, he has to start for Tottenham. And again, you saw Xavi Simons, guys. How many times have I said he's got to start? When Zerbi didn't start him last game, I was going apeshit. I was going ballistic. And fans are saying, oh, just be positive. The manager knows what he's doing. I'm like, no. Xavi Simons is the best number 10 at Tottenham Hotspur. I'll say it again. He is the best number 10 other than Maddison. I don't want to see Bergville in the 10. I don't want to see players pushed into the 10 that haven't played there. Xavi Simons today showed you he can create and he can score. He did the same against Atletico. I don't care if he has a bad game. You play him again and you play him again, because there's no one else that we've got that can do that at the moment. Mm-hmm. Right? That goal he scored today was world class, man. That was a phenomenal strike from Xavi Simons. If Saka scored that, or if Doku scored that, or if Soboslai scored that, everyone would be saying, oh, what a player, what a goal. But because it's Xavi Simons, that was a brilliant goal. Sensational stuff. And his assist, what a delicate little chip. It was, dare I say it, Christian Eriksen-esque. Am I allowed to say that without being called dramatic and over the top? That's what he can do. But he's got to play every single game, guys. So for me...
That moment right at the end of the first half, though, if he scores that, makes it 2-0, could have been a different game.
Yeah, look, he's not perfect. He's not perfect. But Sim, the fact he's getting into those positions and he's getting himself into dangerous situations where he's either testing the goalkeeper or it's coming off the woodwork. You don't see that from Solanke. You don't see that from Moani. You don't see that from Tel, Richarlison, nothing. Xavi Simons, he puts himself about and he's good. He's technically good. He's got a brain as well. I like him. He's a very good football player. And I hope he gets a proper run now under Zerbi, because he might be the difference. Because the reality is, guys, we can all blame Danzo today. We can all say, oh, by the way, I don't rate Danzo. I've never rated him. I think he's an average defender. And today he showed you why he's average. But there's no point blaming Danzo. There's no point blaming the defenders. Why was no one at the back post for Mitoma's wonder strike? By the way, that was a great strike as well. He made that look easy. We can blame the defence, but what did our attack do today, guys? Can we talk about our attack, how they let us down? Because if you take Xavi Simons off the pitch, we've got no goals today. We've got nothing. Solanke, useless. Moani, useless. Tel came on, does nothing. The other midfielders don't contribute anything to the attack. And I don't want us just to blame defenders today for costing us, because that's the easy thing to do. Look, do you remember right at the end of the game, I think there's about 4 or 5 minutes to go. I think it was still 2-1 to us. Archie Gray goes running through. He gets put in one-on-one with the goalie. And he just, do you remember that? He just passes it straight into the goalkeeper's hands.
That was at 2-2. That was literally just after we conceded.
Was it a 2-2, yeah?
Yeah.
right? That's what I mean, guys. That's exactly what I mean. The fans tonight are all going to go after Danzo, and rightly so, because he cost us. But it's not his fault that we drew. Archie Gray could have won it. He's meant to be this really good midfielder, a brilliant football player. Mate, you can't even shoot in the bottom corners when you're 8 yards out. How can you be a midfielder at Tottenham? What midfielder does that? And then you look at the attackers. They were hopeless today. I'm watching Mawani blaze it into the roof of the south stand. I'm watching Solanke doing pretty much nothing. Tel comes on, huffs and puffs. And so that's another issue we're going to have with the games coming up. Where are the goals coming from? Because Xavi Simons isn't going to score every single week. Maybe Maddison comes back, gets a couple of goals. But do you two see any of our attackers contributing to this team up front? Because I don't.
Do you know what's funny? Like Xavi, obviously he was hobbling in that game towards the last 10 or 15 minutes. Do you think he's going to be injured or fit for the next game?
Well, look, if he is, Ash, it's a massive problem. It's a massive problem.
Yeah,
because
that's what I'm
the
saying.
reason Maddison, Ash, it's a huge problem because no one else can play in that role. Nobody. And I don't want us to rush Maddison back. He's coming off of a very, very long injury. And I feel the reason he didn't come on today is partly because he's not 100% match fit, and partly because it was such a physical game. The tackles were flying in. There was yellow cards being given. There was yellow cards that should have been given. It's a very physical game. It was classic Premier League physical battle viewing. And I don't think Maddison, as a first game going into that, would have been a wise option. So I actually don't mind the fact that Maddison didn't come on, because the last thing we need is he comes on, takes a knock, and he's out for another 6 months. So I kind of get that. I understand the frustration from fans because they want to see him play and we need him. But is Maddison going to come in and take the Xavi Simons role and put in performances straight from the off? I don't know, Ash. Bentancur came in. He looked all right, but
yeah,
he only had 60 minutes in his legs because he physically couldn't.
I was thinking more like Conor Gallagher, because obviously Bergvall came on for Conor Gallagher. If Maddison's played higher up and he hasn't got to do, he has to defend higher up, yeah. So it's still a risk, and he's still got to do defending when you drop off. But I'm just saying, Maddison in a 10 just behind the striker, and then Xavi, obviously he played off the left. Then would that be more suitable with the last 10, 15 minutes of a game? So he's not being risked too much. Even when I'm talking about Wolves, because I know Wolves, that could still be a physical game.
Yeah, but Ash, you say Xavi played off the left, but if you look at all the damage he caused today, it was when he came inside.
I know that, but I'm just saying technically, I'm not saying, I agree with you. I'm just saying Bergvall came on for Conor Gallagher. So I'm saying if Maddison was to come on, Xavi can still play the left and then drift in. But I'm saying if Maddison's playing just off Solanke in the 10, then you wouldn't risk him per se, because he wouldn't have to do that much tackling like in deeper areas, because he's closer to Solanke, if that makes sense, and he can run off him like like how Conor Gallagher was doing today. Do you know what I mean? He was kind of, those two were pressing aggressively. Do you know what I'm saying? And if it's the last 10, 15 minutes, then it's not as big as a risk. But anyway, I was just throwing that out there.
No, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I don't actually disagree with you. My only concern is that every game we're in now is just a war. It's a physical fight to the end, and we've been saying for so many weeks, this team doesn't show fight. The problem is that they don't show fight. Leeds are fighting. West Ham are fighting. Nottingham Forest. Everyone's fighting but us. Today we showed fight. But you saw players are going down. Players are holding their legs. The referee's showing the yellow card. Simons is hobbling off. That's because we're fighting. My fear is Maddison gets... We've rushed so many players back, Ash, and then they end up breaking down within a couple of games. My worry with Maddison is he's coming back into a team that is in literally war mode every single game to the end of the season. And we're going to come up against some really physical sides soon. Like Leeds is going to be World War III with them. I'm telling you, they're going to give it proper. And we're going to have to match them. Chelsea away is never a nice game. It's a nasty game. Villa away, they've got some brutes in their team that don't mind to put it about. So, but at the same time, Maddison has to come back at some point. Otherwise, what's the point? So, do you know what I like, Ash? I like the idea of playing 2 players in the 10.
Yeah, me too.
I
Makes
actually
sense. It's
said many
common sense
weeks
to me.
ago, yeah, I'm not against Mawani playing in the 10 next to Xavi, because I actually think Mawani, as rubbish as he's been and as rubbish as he is, he's been most effective when he's played in that middle role and he's put those through balls in, and we've scored goals when he's done that. So maybe Maddison could go in the 10 with Xavi or Mawani, whether the manager decides, and play 2 in the 10. And that way it relieves a bit of the stress off of Maddison having to run around across that front line left and right, and just give him a bit more breathing space, or maybe find a few more pockets to play into where he's not going to have a player come in and, wallop him. So,
Stel, just on talk to me about Zerbi, because let's just park the fact that where we are on the table and everything just for a moment. Is it impressive for you how he's got us a performance like that, given how bad we've been this season and for this calendar year, and even in the recent past, since Tudor and Frank? Like, I know we played badly last week, but within a game, he's got us playing like we have today, which is a lot better than what we've seen. Is that not impressive, at least?
I like Zerbi.
I'm just asking, was that impressive from your point of view, like for him, like to show that today, the management?
It's impossible to say, Sim, until the next couple of games, because against Sunderland we were absolute dog shit.
Yeah,
like we were awful. So, is today one of those moments where it's a flash in the pan? We get hyped up, we get excited, we're desperate for positivity. Let's jump on it, and then we go to Wolves and we lose 2-0, and we come out of the Molineux saying, "What the hell just happened there?" Or do we go to Wolves, batter them 3-0, and say, "Right, Zerbi's cooking. Zerbi's cooking. This is why he's here." I can't answer that until the next game, Sim.
It was our best performance of the year, though, wasn't it? Probably.
I don't think the football we played was particularly good today. I thought we gave the ball away so much, and we invited Brighton onto it. That second half, we just kept giving the ball away, and Brighton kept coming onto us. That Brighton equaliser was coming. I don't know if you remember. 2 minutes before they equalised, they should have equalised. Yeah. But that equaliser was kind of coming, and that's because we couldn't keep possession of the ball. So I don't actually think we played well. What I thought we did today was, I thought our pressing was really good and a bit more consistent. There was a moment in the second half where Conor Gallagher shut down the goalie and it came off his foot and it could have gone anywhere. And the first half, I thought we were pressing really well. So in terms of the effort in the press, that's definitely better today. And I thought, it's the fight. Today we looked like we had fight. We looked like we were genuinely trying to fight for something. And I haven't seen that, like I said to you at the start of when I came on your show, I haven't seen that in about 3 months. I haven't seen that kind of fight. So yeah, you got to rate the manager, because he's done that. He's got a little something out of them there to just want to fight. But again, the reality is, it's another game we haven't won. We're now going towards the end of April without having won a game, and another game at home. When are we ever going to win in our new stadium, man? Like, someone needs to go around there and do some kind of we need an exorcist. Those people that go in there and do an exorcism on the stadium or something, man. We are so bad at home when it comes to results. So even
Zerbi, some
Zerbi,
incense or something. Burn some incense.
Zerbi's first game, he's got all the fans with their flags. They're singing "Glory, Glory, Tottenham Hotspur," and he's jumping up in his seat, celebrating the goals that we scored, and the fans are loving it. And he's getting a yellow card because he can't stay in his technical box. And you're thinking, right, he's got everyone behind the team. And then 2 minutes to go, we go and do that, and it just kills it, man. It just kills everything. And do you know what was so devastating about that draw today, guys, that no one has mentioned yet? This is the first week in a long time where we've played first before West Ham and Nottingham Forest. We played first. So normally they would play, and then if they get a result, we're under pressure. Like we were against Sunderland. We were under pressure going to Sunderland because we knew we'd dropped into the bottom 3. We were the last team to play on the weekend. This time we've gone first. So West Ham and Nottingham Forest this weekend, They both play knowing no matter what they do, they will stay above Tottenham. Mm-hmm. So the pressure's off them. They can be a bit more relaxed knowing that we're not in the relegation zone. So even if we get a draw, or even worst case we lose, we're still above that lot. And that's the first time that's happened in a long time. So my concern now is they actually play with a bit more freedom and a bit more relaxed in the mind psychologically, and they get something in the game that maybe they might not have got had Spurs won today and we pushed West Ham below us. So that's the psychological issue now that is going to play out this weekend. Had we have won today, I think West Ham would have been shitting it. I think West Ham would have been thinking, oh no, the Zerbi's getting a tune out of that lot. Spurs are actually going to put up a fight for the last 6 games. But now their players looking at that and thinking, same old Tottenham. Bottle jobs. And it's killer.
With 5 games to go, Stel, if we were to stay up, how many wins do we need? Or how many points do we need, do you think, from this point now?
It's like we're guessing every week, isn't it? We don't know what the opposition's going to do. We don't know what we're going to do.
That's us. That's football. Is it still 3 wins, or do you need more? Nate said he thinks 4 wins now.
No. Nate's. I don't disagree. I like Nate actually. When he came on, pretty much everything he said I agreed with. I don't agree with we need 4 wins. I don't think so. I think Forest have got a very, very difficult run in. Really difficult run in. If they beat Burnley, how many points ahead of us will Forest be?
5.
5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if West Ham win, I don't think West Ham will beat Palace, by the way.
If they don't, then if the West Ham don't beat Palace, if they lose, is it advantage Tottenham after today's result?
Why is it advantage Tottenham?
Because we've shown some fight, we've gained a point on them. All of a sudden, we're getting closer.
Yeah, but 1 point. We'll be 1 point away from them if they don't win.
Sim, that's one of the most deluded things you've said in a long time.
Oh, it's a question.
How is it? How is it advantage Tottenham when we're below them?
You know, after this week, we've gained a point. Shad had a good performance. All of a sudden, gaining advantage us. Do we get the advantage?
Who was that guy? What was that guy that he made that comical track? I forgot his name. Big Shaq. Was it 2 + 2? Quick maths.
Yeah, Big Shaq.
I think from now on we're going to call Big Sim. Big Sim.
Big Sim, you know. Aye.
Big Sim. I reckon. Bloody hell. This could go to goal difference, It actually could go to goal difference. Could you imagine the league title between City and Arsenal goes to goal difference and relegation goes to goal difference?
But do you still think we need at least 3 wins, right? Surely we can't stay up with
No.
less than 3.
I don't think so.
Do you think we could stay up with less than 3 wins?
I think we need 2 wins. I think we need 2 wins. In fact, let me forget this wins. I'll tell you how many points we need.
7.
So, how many points are West Ham on? Sorry, guys.
They're on 31 and with the game in hand.
Right,
so 1 point ahead of us. 1 point ahead of us with the game in hand.
Okay, let's say they draw 32. 2, then we beat them 33, so it's 3. Then another game is said 2, so that's put us 35. We're on 31 points, yeah?
We're on 31, 30.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, 30 we're on.
I think 6 points might do it, but most probably, I think 7 points is what
31, 131, yeah.
I think 6 points will just do it, but I think 6 points might do it, but I think 7 points minimum is what we need. So 2 wins and a draw, or a win and 4 draws, which isn't going to happen with 5 games to go. We need at least 2 wins. At least 2 wins. I think it's fair to say, guys, if we don't beat Wolves,
it's done. It's done.
Yeah,
it's Romeo done.
Because we're not going to get an easier game than that. And of course, I can't remember the last time we beat Wolves.
Yeah,
I really can't. They always seem to have our number. Can we Can we get a 1-0? Can we get a 2-1? But then you're trusting our defenders to hold their nerve under pressure, which again today they showed they can't. And we're trusting our attackers to actually create and score, where we have seen multiple times they're useless. And it took our number 10 and our right back to save us today.
Stel, Zerbi's been talking his press conference. He says, this team is able to win 5 games in a row. He said, it's difficult to hear my words, but if you watch my players and analyse the level of the players, I think we can win 5 games in a row. It's not to be arrogant, especially now, but we have enough quality to win 5 in a row.
He's got to tell him that. He's got to tell him that. He's got to tell himself that. He's got to tell...
That's what Zerbi said.
Yeah, he's got to believe. If he doesn't believe, then there's no point.
He said he's not being arrogant to say we can win 5 in a row.
Listen, he doesn't believe that for 1 second. He's talking absolute shit. But his job is to motivate the players and to galvanise the club to get behind them. So what he's doing there is he's just trying to, come on, we can do it. That's what a good coach should do in this situation. Let's be really super ultra positive about it. Even if I don't believe it, that's not what the players want to hear, because remember what Thomas Frank said? Oh, look at Arsenal.
We will lose some games.
Yeah, we might win 10, we might lose 20. And look what happened. Tudor came in and all he did from day one was say how brilliantly we played when we were shit, telling us that there's a mentality crisis. It's just what De Zerbi has done there is the right thing. I totally agree with what he said, but I don't believe in what he said. I don't think he does either. But I think in his head he's thinking, if I say that and we just get a couple of wins, that might just be enough. So, he's just trying to be a good manager, and he is. I like De Zerbi. When we hired him, I came on your show and I said I really like him as a coach. Mm-hmm. He's my kind of coach. I like his temperament. I like his fire. I like the fact that he'll call out the board if he feels he has to. I like the fact he knows how to play proper football. There's a lot to like about De Zerbi. So let's see, boys. But that game today is days like this where once upon a time you might be positive about and say things like, you know what, we're on the right track. I can see green shoots. But now, after everything I've seen this season, it's games like that which confirm to me, I just think we're going to end up going down. How we've not won that with 4 minutes to go, I just can't believe. I can believe it, but it's just unbelievable. It's happened yet again. We've just blown it, man, again. So I don't know. I'm just gonna go and enjoy the rest of my kebab.
Enjoy. Hopefully it's not too cold, Stel. Appreciate you coming on though, as always. Enjoy.
By the way, everyone that comes on the show tonight, Big Sim.
Advantage Spurs, come on. Big up, Stel.
Big up,
nice
Stel,
to see you, man.
Big up. Take care, guys.